Kerry Madsen gets his first win of 2024. What's up with Chase Randall? Plus, with Stewart Haas Racing ending and their relationship with Ford dissolving, what does that mean for Tony Stewart's sprint car team and Chase Briscoe? We'll discuss that today and more. Let's go. It's Monday, September 9th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Kubota's commitment to quality extends beyond manufacturing equipment. It also includes providing genuine parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Kubota Genuine Parts are designed and manufactured specifically for Kubota machines to ensure optimal performance, durability, and compatibility. By choosing Kubota Genuine Parts, you can have peace of mind knowing that your equipment is getting the high-quality components it deserves. Don't compromise on quality. Trust Kubota Genuine Parts for all your replacement and maintenance needs. Keep your Kubota equipment running smoothly and efficiently with the reliability and assurance of genuine parts. Keep it genuine. Keep it Kubota. You can find a full line of Kubota Genuine Parts at any one of the more than 1,000 dealers nationwide. You can find a dealer in the My Kubota app or visit KubotaUSA.com. By the way, before we get started, I don't know if you guys can notice this hat that I'm wearing today, the Sprint Car Hub hat, kind of dirty. This is actually dirt from Golden Isles when I went to the Lucas High Limit race back in February. How many hats that you guys wear on a daily basis that you walk around with have just dirt track dirt on them like this? It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, there wasn't any big series action from Sunday across the country, but there were a few dirt races with notable winners. At Eagle Raceway, they had 53 360 sprint cars for the MSTS Stewart Alley Memorial. Kerry Madsen led 33 of 40 laps after starting second, picked up his first sprint car win of any kind in 2024. It was good for $10,000. He topped Chase Randall and Sam Haverty. Madsen has run more than 50 races this season, driving a second car for Tony Vermeer, and has had some solid runs that include some top 10s against the Outlaws and 2 high-limit top 5s. He led laps at RPM Speedway against High Limit back in April before finishing second. And he was also second over the weekend against the IRA at Cedar Lake. Chase Randall was in the Beaver 12X. There are still questions about what his future could look like. Remember, he departed the TKS Motorsports ride a few weeks ago and has bounced around in a few different cars since. Rumors about one full-time ride he was linked to have cooled, but his name is still being mentioned for a few other vacancies, 2 of which could be national tour rides. The MSTS has just one race remaining in their 2024 season. It's a 410 show coming up this Saturday at Shelby County. Other Sunday winners included Stuart Friesen. Other Sunday winners included Stuart Friesen at Weed Sport for their season finale. He beat Alex Payne and Jimmy Phelps. Jordan Thomas won with the Empire Super Sprints, and Kenny Miller III was a USAC East Coast Sprint Car winner at Action Track USA. It's pretty quiet today around the country, but we do have the ASCS National Tour at the Clay County Fair Speedway tomorrow, and then things really ramp up for another busy dirt racing weekend on Thursday. Yesterday at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the NASCAR playoffs got started, and even though a bunch of you like to claim you don't watch, my Sunday episode analytics continue to say different. There's always a significant dip once the race starts, and then a viewership spike once the race is over. So in saying that, most of you know that this is the final season of Stewart Haas Racing. Chase Briscoe is the only SHR driver to have made the playoffs thanks to a walk-off win the week before at Darlington. And I bring NASCAR up here because of the tie-ins with sprint car racing, both with Tony Stewart and Briscoe. SHR was obviously heavily aligned with Ford, and that relationship spilled over into other areas, including the TSR Ford sprint car engine program. Ford also a partner at Eldora Speedway. We've certainly talked plenty on this show about the development of the Ford engine through the last several years, and it's been a topic of conversation around Donnie Schatz and several down seasons we've seen from him. Watching Schatz go from being one of the most dominant drivers in sprint car and World of Outlaws history to well outside that kind of top contending group has left many wondering about and pointing towards the Ford engine as the reason why. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, but the 2024 season has seen a resurgence for Schatz and the TSR 15 team. 5 wins so far, their best average finish since 2019, and currently 3rd in the standings. That's a place they haven't been since 2020. The absence of Brad Sweet from the Outlaw Tour is certainly helping those numbers at least a little bit, but the team is also better. There's no question about that. In all of this, talk with Stewart Haas Racing, the one question I've seen through, from several of you, a lot of other places is what happens with this team going forward and what engine will they choose? With SHR gone and that relationship with Ford over, will this team stick with this Ford 410 or go back to a setup they had used previously? A common thought I've seen a lot is that if this team and Donnie just return to a Chevy-based 410, Schatz would return to prominence. But I don't think I'd hold my breath on that one. From what I know and what I've heard, I would expect the relationship between Ford and TSR to continue. Remember that Tony Stewart Racing is a separate entity from Stewart Haas and has its own deal with Ford. And it's my understanding that Stewart himself invested significant resources into the development of the engine. The Ford 410s are built by Shaver Engines California, and it's clear from past comments from Ron Shaver himself that those engines are basically bespoke pieces built to unique TSR and Schatz specifications. Tony Stewart walking away from that kind of investment kind of doesn't seem likely. The Ford 410s available as Ford customer engines are similar, but not exactly the same. Towards the end of 2023, Schatz himself and TSR were being mentioned a lot in the sprint car rumor mill, but this year it's dead silent around them. That makes me think that changes to the team are probably unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. I mentioned Briscoe earlier as well, as he's been running the customer version of the Ford 410 in his sprint car, which we've seen both him and Carter Sarf race. This engine question has also been posed about Briscoe's team, but on the flip side, I could see this relationship ending. Briscoe has been a part of the Ford driver development program for a long time, going back to his ARCA days and even before that, and then coming all the way up through to Stewart Haas Racing in the Cup Series. But for 2025, he's going to Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota. I have a hard time believing that Ford will continue to offer support for his extracurriculars when he's going to be wearing TRD red on Sundays. Does that mean he'll have a Toyota 410 in the sprint car? That I don't know. We haven't really seen those engines outside of the Roth cars up to this point, especially lately. I think Briscoe's sprint car and midget stuff will be wait and see anyway. Obviously don't know what will happen with Mahindra and some of the other sponsors he's got. And I think that will also include the engine choice. So if I was a betting man right now, I'd put cash on status quo for TSR and Schatz for 2025. No changes there. And I'd go the other way on Briscoe. I do think changes are possible with his sprint car deal. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about these two situations. Before we close out today, I was rummaging through the analytics section over at DIRTRACKR.com, and I've got a few stats for you to ponder on this Monday. First, I've got Eldora late model special events in the database going back to 2021. In 26 appearances, Jonathan Davenport has won 9 times. He's got 22 top 5s and 24 top 10s. He's been about as automatic at Eldora as it gets. 24 top 10s and 26 appearances. Also, of the 9 dirt racing series that I track, the longest active top 10 streak in the country right now belongs to Ken and McIntosh with the Extreme Outlaw Midgets. He leads that championship right now, and this streak is a big reason why. There have been 20 extreme races in 2024, and Ken and Mac has been top 10 in all of them. To go even further, he's been top 5 in all but 1. His lone non-top 5 finish was a 6th at Peevely in August. We'll see if he can keep that up going to Southern Illinois and Highland later this week. But that's it for the Daily Show today. Make sure to stop by DIRTRACKR.com to see all the latest news from around the sport, which updates automatically throughout the day. Hope you guys have a great Monday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.